Hey guys, welcome to Bonehead Truckers. Guys, I'm calling out these companies. And it does me no good to call out specific companies just for the fact that they change their names so many times and it just doesn't matter. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find these companies on Indeed and how you can steer clear of them. Okay, like Alif Ooze Corp. All right, this is like the owner, our teams. Like, look at those names. I mean, can you tell anything about these guys? Obviously, these companies, I don't even think these people even live in the United States of America. And the headshots here of these people are probably not even them. It's probably some AI generated. Like, look at them. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could tell you by those names right there, you can't hardly understand what the heck they're saying. But this is what they do, Shady. They do stuff like this. I had a viewer, a follower, do a little Google address right there, and on that company I just showed you. And basically, what they do is that they create this ELD. Okay, it gets approved by the FMCSA, and then they get shut down, and then they go and then create a new one using the same software with a different name, and that's how they start to get away with stuff. Okay, and how is it that the FMCSA, the US DOT, are approving these ELDs? Because look, I want to show you what they're doing here on Telegram. And look, if you look here, it says Log 365. They have a dedicated log department. Now, most companies do, right? A smaller company, probably has one person, okay? If you're doing it correctly, one person. You don't need to go reset hours. I got some screenshots here. You can kind of pause them and look at them, okay? They're basically telling you to do it. This right here, this one's Log 365B. Different Telegram. Like, these companies are telling you to do it. And this is wrong. This is dangerous. This is illegal. Okay? This right here, Unique ELD, sits there and says this is how they do it. They tell you, hey, if you get pulled over, tell them you had a co-driver in here. This is his name and where you picked him up at, what time, and where you dropped him off at. That's how they get them. And it's just like, this is a company telling you to do this. Now, I get it. Some of you guys have told me, says, well, you old timers used to do it with your loose leaf logbooks. I get it. I understand your argument to this. You're sitting there saying, well, shouldn't I work for a company that pushes you to do this? Well, here's what happens. This is what happens when you when a company is pushing a driver, whether he's an illegal immigrant or he speaks English or not. This right here happens. Okay. Now, when we used to do this back in the day, when we used to cheat our logs and all that kind of stuff back in the day, back when we were dumb and we were stupid, that's what we were. We didn't make any more money. The company said, don't do this. And if you did it, they went la, 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 la. The company never told you to do it. They didn't tell you how to do it. You just did it. Okay? Now, let me also say this. Those of you guys that are going to go work for companies like this that tell you to go and, go cheat your logs. If you've got to cheat your logs to make money, you're at the wrong job. And I also want to say this, is that if you get in an accident doing this and you run over someone, the company doesn't pay, you pay. You're the one responsible. If you work for a company like this, tell them freaking no. Tell them you're not going to do it, because if you get in an accident, they're not being put in jail. You are. Now, how do people find this? Let's go to Indeed. Let's go find these companies. They're really easy to find. All you got to do is get on Indeed and put in CDL and where you're located at. And all you have to do is go down through here and start looking. Now, you're going to find some reputable companies like Decker, like Rail. Let's take a look at this one right here. MGR Freight System. The title says CDLA, lease to purchase truck driver. Why does that sound familiar? Is when they say lease to purchase. I don't know. It tells you to call 708-350, and it's a Chicago area. There's your red flag right there. No credit check, no interest, flat payment, no company benefits, 1099 position. Yeah, that's all of them, right? To me, this screams one of those companies that are like that when they're out of the Chicago area. And you've got a lot of them that look just like that. You Google those area codes, you see where they're located at, and you'll be sitting there thinking, yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with that company out of Chicago. All right, here's another one. Lease purchase Class A OTR Co-Lines. This is what they're called, Co-Lines Incorporated. Okay, stop driving a truck and start driving your truck. Be your own boss and set your own schedule. See, that's how they try to get you up in there. They tells you all their stuff. We at Co-Lines and KDA Logistics have open spot for lease purchase program. Fill out an application. At least these guys give you Intelli app. That's a good thing. You know, the Intelli app, that's one thing that they do, or that most companies do, actually. That's how we do it over here at TRC Freight. But it's a 630 area code, and guess where that's out of? The Chicago area. Surprise, surprise. Here's another one. But I'm going to tell you one of these things. If you ever apply to these people, sometimes they'll have a thing, and I'm not going to go search for it on here, but sometimes they'll have a thing where they go and tell you to send them a message with your CDL, a picture of your CDL front and back, and DOT medical card. All right, they won't. A lot of the times they don't even care about your work history. All they care about is getting that information. See if that they'll look up your MBR and whatever. See if you're qualified, and then you're good to go. They don't care about none of that. Even though a company is supposed to have 10 years of records on you. So last week I did a video talking about how they, how was it Cat Trucking, how they did theirs. I mean, it's the same thing. It's what they do. So I'm telling you guys, be careful with these companies, because these companies they don't care about you. They're not owned by Americans. And once something bad happens, they're going to close down and open up under a new name. Okay, they make the truck driver a slave. The driver's working for pennies on the dollar, and also, obviously unsafe. But you want to sit there and wonder why you can't get races? You want to sit there and wonder why rates are so low? It's because you have companies out here like this. Now, you do have some states out here that are actually going and doing their job as far as English proficiency violations go. Wyoming being the best one out of all of them. You would think it would be like Oklahoma or whatever, and it's not. It's not. It's freaking like June 2025. You have Wyoming writing 66 out of service violations. Okay, driver cannot satisfy English language proficiency. Failed interview. Okay, where's the other states? Where's the other states? Huh? Where are you at, Oklahoma? I want to cover this too. right here, and I'm going to play this, but we're talking about Mexican truck drivers coming over. And listen, I think Mexican and Canadian truck drivers that have fraudulent CDLs. I'm going to take it a step further. As you guys know, is I believe that the only people who should be driving trucks in the United States of America is American citizens. I don't know why, we can't go and talk about that, but at least we're talking about this right here, where Mexican trucks, okay, they go all the way into the United States, and I'm not talking about just at Laredo or there in the Valley or Nogales or whatever. A border town, but they're going into Kentucky, Ohio, okay, and no one watches to see what they're doing after that. They go deliver their load, and I hear of this happening all the time, where they go and they pick up a load from Kentucky, Ohio, whatever, go do a load, going back and forth, maybe to Georgia, back up to Illinois, and then maybe back down into Mexico from there. Okay, this right here, we gotta put a stop to. Okay, and that's the reason why I'm on this, right? Listen, not only just for the safety alone, but for our jobs, our rates, okay? I want American truck drivers out there. When I go into a truck stop, I want to see American truck drivers like the old days. That's right. So let's take a listen to this. This is Ted Cruz. He's questioning Mr. Bars. He is being appointed to run the FMCSA. Let's take a listen.
Mr. Bars, let's start with you. Today, the United States has reciprocity with Mexico and Canada, such that all three countries recognize each other's commercial driver licenses. The state of Texas and the Texas Trucking Association have flagged that drivers with fraudulently issued Mexican CDLs are coming into the U.S. These drivers may not actually have the experience to drive safely on the roads and could potentially be violating U.S. cabotage laws. Mr. Bars, can you discuss your views on this issue, and if confirmed, will you work with me and my office to fix this problem?
Senator, thank you for the question. Safety is paramount, as we've discussed earlier with my career in law enforcement, making sure that all drivers are safe on our roadway, but ensuring that drivers are qualified and safe has got to be the utmost importance of what we're doing with commercial vehicle safety. If confirmed, I'm committed to addressing this particular issue. I've worked closely with the Texas Department of Public Safety throughout my career and understand that this particular issue is concerning, and we'll work closely with you and your office to ensure that we can make sure that all drivers who are in our country are safe.
Save 20% on Loadboard Pro for 6 months if you click my link. You gotta click my link. You just can't go there and get it. You gotta click my link to do it. You get quick and easy access to live high quality loads in real time. Negotiate the pay you deserve with industry leading rate tools and build relationship with trusted brokers. Okay, 6 months, 20% off. You're saving $190 over 6 months is how much you're saving. Truckstop.com. That's who Bonehead Truckers has partnered with. Click my link. Just don't go to truckstop.com. You ain't gonna find my link, okay? And you ain't gonna find this deal. All right, so click the link. It's sent there in the description below.